Hey everybody, thanks for sticking it out with me on this Fallout-inspired nuclear testing map build thingy. And here again is our finished product. This is what we're working towards. Let's get going and finish this. First thing I notice is this map is way too awesome and way too big to fit with any mere neat line. Let's look at it. Yep, sure enough. It doesn't fit quite. Well, can we fix that? Absolutely. Not as hard as you might think. Just go to our layout, make a copy of this map frame, and paste it in there. And once we do, we'll do some housekeeping and rename this overhang top left, original. And let's shrink that window down. And this doesn't change the scale, but it just makes another window. And if we put it in the top left of that map frame, we can go up here and scoot it. And I think you can see where this is going. That's right. And then we just want to get it close because we're going to have to scoot it later. So let's go back to our symbology and get rid of that neat line from that new map frame. Also, all the labels and ticks and everything else, and leave only the grid lines. And we can snug that up a little better. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect because we'll likely have to scoot this later again. So now that it's close, we go down here, and if we right click and say edit vertices, we go here, we can right click and add vertices all over this thing. So we just add a bunch of them and move those vertices in. As you can see, it changes the map, this new map, overlay map, boundaries. Doesn't change the scale or anything. And you can monkey with this all day long, believe me, just to get it just right. But I like to make it kind of smooth-ish. Again, down here, let's add a bunch of vertices and move those in. Yeah. And once we get it to where it's fairly smooth, at least for this demo, yep, see, we have to scoot it again, so let's scoot that back where it was. That's about right. Down here to the left. And perfect. That looks good. That does look good, right? Yeah. So once we do that, we can see that the little dynamic tester there says Esri. So we go to our dynamic text and draw a box out here, and that will move those credits, and that's going to become important later. But now we got a nice clean overhang outside of our neat lines.
Many unbearable hours later.
I've done the same thing down here below. And there's also an overhang part up here at the top. And what we see is there are some of those lats and longs, actually longs in this case, kind of sticking out from behind that extra map document. So let's make a box there, just a insert box, and get the color just right. We'll go here and turn off our solid stroke outline, but the solid fill, let's use the eyedropper to get the perfect color. Boom, just like that, and it disappears. But you do have to scoot that underneath that map document. And voila, gone. And easy enough to copy and paste that. And move that over to this other side. And again, scoot that underneath your map frame. And it's gone. Doesn't that look cool? I think it looks really cool. So now we'll go back to our layout. Looking pretty darn good now. So let's add a vicinity map here. And let's steal this symbology from our boundary by clicking on it and going to properties. Once we have everything we need, which we do, let's go ahead and save symbol to style, and we will call that bloom boundary for the CRT bloom that it's supposed to look like. And there it is. So let's go ahead and go back to our catalog and add another map. We'll call this vicinity map. And we will go to the living atlas, bottomless pit of cool data, and we will look for US states, which we've used a bunch of times before already, and change it to the correct projection. There it is. And all we want is Nevada, so let's select it, export it to our geodatabase, which is here, call it Nevada, and now we have it for our own, and we can do some housekeeping and get rid of that living atlas version. Now let's do the same thing with cities, US cities, because we want Reno and Vegas on this map. So let's do the same thing. Let's select Vegas and select Reno and export those to our geodatabase, so we have those as well. Cities. And let's symbolize those on the nuclear fallout symbol from way back in the day, just like that. That looks pretty good. Also, I see that our labels need a little bit of attention, so let's go ahead and do the Nevada Proving Grounds label first. And just pop that outside. That looks great. It's got the right font, the right color. I think we'll keep everything there. Now, let's go back to our layout and add that new map to our layout. Just like that. And now a previously determined better scale. We'll just add that. And now we can activate that and scoot it. Okay, and let's scoot this to a better place. It's going to be up. I think we want to scoot it down and put our two legends above this. Anyway, that's good. And the game is called New Vegas, so let's label those appropriately, New Vegas and New Reno. And down here, let's add a little bit of a decoration. And I went and I got out a nuclear blast, nuclear mushroom cloud picture, PNG right there. Let's use that, and there it is. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And we'll more housekeeping, mushroom cloud, and move that.
Moments later.
Through the magic of editing, I've done all of the surrounds. I've added a nice title. Nice title. Over here we have a couple of legends. Nothing new. Our points of interest and our detonation locations. Down here we have a little bit of narrative. And this is one of the more important things, I think, is your credits. Give credit where credit is due to everybody that has contributed to your map, including yourself. Always sign your work, always. And so there we go. We have our Fallout-inspired nuclear proving grounds map thing. Thanks for checking it out. Hey, like, subscribe, and please comment. I like comments. See you next time. Bye.